What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and all week long, I've been joined by Daniel Acevedo. What's going on, sir?
How's it going, guys? Let's go.
Yes, sir. So, happy Father's Day. If you listen to this, happy belated Father's Day, because it's the Friday episode. Hopefully you had a great weekend with your family or your loved ones or whomever. Yeah, it's been a good week. Good balance of shows. Monday, Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday, discussion. Thursdays, Ask a CISSP. This week either have been a throwback or a brand new episode with the C-suite and senior leaders of Black Girls Hack. So I'm looking forward to that one. It has not been recorded yet, so I'm giving myself some leeway. On editing, will it be done by this week or not? I don't know. But if not, you'll get a throwback from one of our great 610th episodes. So we're up there when it comes to content. And then definitely check out our articles. So every episode gets an article. It's on LinkedIn and Medium. And then we roll those all up into a newsletter. So all of our straight articles and whatever also get rolled up in that one. So like this week was Slice of Life with Chris in his passing of the CCP, the CMMC 2.0 exam. It was Daniel's adventures in Japan. So he's on the other side of the world now. So some cool pictures and just how he's settling in. And then I had a stray article written on Apple Intelligence and if we're ready for it or not and the ramifications. So that one came out of my excitement from WWDC 24. Just dropped and I'm just super pumped. I'm also an Apple fanboy, so take it with a grain of salt. But I try to be as balanced, as fair and balanced as possible in the article and just go over some of their cybersecurity practices and how those could be folded into the upcoming model of their rebranded AI solution. And then Fridays, everything else, movies, books, games, all that good stuff. But check out the newsletter. It's called the Weekly Rundown. It'll have all the other articles in it as well. And then we push it out through LinkedIn as well as Medium. I think we're up to 1,300 plus subs and a pretty good reader because I can see how people read it as well. And it's pretty up there. 50-60% of people who sub also read it. So I'm very happy about that. Please like, share, subscribe. Get us to 500 subs by the end of the month, 1,000 by the end of the year. Greatly appreciate you. Okay, all that's out the way. So Daniel, how was your week? What'd you get into?
It was good. We're house hunting, so we're going different houses around the area. It's weird. The real estate agents down here. So if it's a real estate agent in the local area, they only have houses pretty much in that local area of the county, kind of. So it's hard to explain. Wherever you live, like let's say it's Tampa, it would be just like that spec shed Tampa. It wouldn't stretch out further than that, like for kilometers, right? So my wife's family lives in Tokyo, like in one of the busier places. So we're about an hour and a half away by train on a good day. Maybe it's a little bit less, but depending on the train we get. So we want to live a little bit further north, so that way the train ride would be like an hour, or the drive would be like an hour. If I ever drive into Tokyo, which I don't recommend driving in any city, is a pain in the rear. So I prefer just to sit down on the train and just going up there. So we were kind of running into some kind of hurdles and like roadblocks with that. But I had a buddy that was actually stationed out here, and he gave us a referral to a real estate agent. And we hit her up. She's like, I'm not a real estate agent anymore, but give me a second. And she put us in contact with some real estate agencies locally in the area. And she said, hey, listen, do these things. Speak to these 2 or these 3, and one of them should help you out. And we hit it off with one, and they've been super helpful so far. Good. Even if they didn't have houses in the area we're looking, they found places and stuff for us. So we've been looking almost every other day for the last week, and we found one in an area that we want to live. So the owners are a American and a Japanese, just like us. So they're cool with me being a foreigner. They're cool with not having to do a Navy lease. So usually a lot of the people that rent houses out here that are Japanese, they tend to like want to have a lease through the base. So you usually go to the housing office, and through the housing office, you get a lease, and that pays out.
Protection on their part.
Exactly. There's assurance, like, if we do something dumb or we peace out, then they get compensated. But since my wife's Japanese and I'm a contractor, I don't go through Navy lease. So since they're, American, Japanese are cool with not doing the Navy lease. They're actually going to do a Japanese lease for us. They're okay with me having a dog. So it's like kind of match made in heaven. Only thing is that we have to wait like a week and a half because there are people living there. They just moved down. We're the first people that are going to look at the house. So we got to wait for them to clean it and move out the rest of the stuff. So, that's kind of where we've been at the whole week, but we're super excited. Besides that, just kind of like exploring Yokosuka. I've never like really explored this out here. I was in Yokota before, so
before you go there, I have to ask a question because I have to, like, this is like an interview. Like I'm trying to the perspective of not only myself because I've never been over there, but just listeners. What is the architecture like on a house over there? Like, does it look like an American house or is it
no, it
like
doesn't.
what
That's a
when
that's a
you when you
crazy
saw
good
the house,
question.
what does it look like?
Yeah, so it's crazy. The houses, like, and first of all, like in the heart of Tokyo, like in busy Tokyo, it's a lot of like skyscrapers or like apartment complexes, and even those are very different. Houses here, so
Okay,
American houses, we build them wide, right? Like really wide. We like our space. We like our rooms to be big.
yeah,
We like backyards, all that stuff. In places like Florida, right? Like, the typical American house is like that. And some other places, cities or California is a little different. Like houses are built a little bit closer. But here they build the houses like that. It's like it's lean and long,
okay,
but they find ways to build it where there's like a bunch of rooms and like a bunch of storage. So let's say even if the house is like 1,200 square feet or 1,300 square feet, like it feels a lot bigger than what it is somehow because they've maximized space. They're
okay.
like so efficient that it's crazy. But everything is like pretty much built on each other because the island's small and there's so many people that live here that they're really good at maximizing space with what they have. So that's a little culture shock for a lot of like Americans that come over here, especially trying to expect like huge houses, and you won't find that here. But you will learn to like live with what you really need, and then you'll find like the more modern houses have like I feel like you have like a bunch. You feel like you're living in a 3,000 square foot house, but it's actually like 1,400 square foot,
Hmm.
1,300 square feet. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. It's crazy. So like the cars are like that too. If you look at
That's
them,
pretty cool.
instead of it being wide, the cars are like longer and taller. And then when you sit in them, they feel really roomy, but they're small and like compact, so they can fit on the roads. Because some of the roads down here are really, really, really like narrow. I'm not gonna lie, and the parking spaces are super
Okay,
small. Yeah, so I've always been a pretty good driver. Like if you, I come from Puerto Rico, so if you don't know how to drive, that's like you get like third-degree black belt in driving if you drive in Puerto Rico. So I've always been a really good driver. The roads are really small down there too. But parking, man, here they've mastered parking. You have to parallel park because of just the way the parking spaces are. They're really small. And sometimes my old
okay,
house where I used to live, it was like the street was like super narrow and it was a two-way street. So sometimes you'd come down and both cars would get to the side and you just have enough space to go by each other.
hmm,
And then
gotcha.
I swear, like my parking spot was probably smaller than the room I'm in right now or something like that. So I would literally, it was go down the road and stop in front of like my neighbor's house and then back into my parking space. And it would just
Okay,
fit like perfectly. It was kind of crazy, but you get like really good at parking when you live in Japan after a while. Like you become, it's like a sixth sense. You just like look at it and you just like whip it in, and it's like end of the day.
right, right.
So that
Well,
was
that's
one
pretty interesting.
thing.
It's like overseas, yeah, overseas is crazy. But you're
Yeah,
saying you've been roaming around Yokosuka? Is that what you said?
yeah. So Yokosuka Naval Base. So this is Kanagawa. So it's like about an hour and a half from Tokyo. So Yokosuka is beautiful. Honestly, like I was living in San Diego before. They both have a very similar feel, and because obviously there's the big Navy base down there as well. So it's right on the water. But it's like cooler down here. It's gorgeous. It's very like lush. So like you have the base and then you have the city that's there, and then if you move out of that 5 to 10 minutes, it's just green mountains and lots of greenery. I almost feel like I'm back in Puerto Rico. It's like really
Okay,
pretty. Yeah, the windy roads, very mountainous. So we were like looking at like, just exploring that whole area, exploring the different like some of the malls that are nearby and all the shops and stores. There's like so many food stores. That's the one thing about even this part of Japan and in Tokyo. It's literally you're just overwhelmed in a good way by like how many
gotcha.
choices you have to eat and just like little like mom and pop stores are just everywhere and just like exploring and just experiencing the food culture out here is really fun as well. So yeah, it's pretty much was the crux of my week was just doing that stuff, like still trying to get settled in, still trying to get everything going for me and my family, getting my feet under me at work, starting that out as well.
Gotcha.
And then just going visiting up the family up Tokyo, and my wife, my daughter are super happy. So it's been really fun, especially for my kid. She's been been around her that side of the family
Right.
more, and just playing with everybody and just seeing how happy she is like with them. It's made it worth the trip over here already so far. So
That's
not a lot
awesome.
of games, not a lot of games on TV. Actually, it's
Right.
funny. So Saturday, my wife is really tired, so she didn't want to go out after her kid went to sleep. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go out because I'm in Tokyo and I'm like not tired. I'm not gonna just sit in the house and do nothing. So went to Ikebukuro, which is a pretty popular part of the city, and I found one of the Sega arcades. It has a different name by a different company now. It's called Jigo, I think, if I'm not butchering that, because my wife corrected me the other day, but I can't remember. And I just went in there and I just played some arcades. I haven't played an arcade since I was like
Right.
probably 16, but it was super fun. Like to feel like a throwback. But it was packed. It was like a Saturday night, like 9:30 or something like that, and it was just like
Oh, wow.
filled with either
Okay.
like high school students or like just salarymen or just like families. It was fun. Played a
Right.
couple racing games, played a couple fighting games, and then I went next door a couple of feet down, and they have like these lounge cafes. So you could either like rent a little room to like just watch anime or manga or read mangas or just chill for a couple hours, or they also have like pool tables and darts, and you can buy
Okay.
beer or you get some food. So I used to go up to them all the time and just play darts with friends or things like that. So I hadn't been to one in a long time. So I just went and I played darts for like half an hour, had a beer, and then I went a couple streets down and I found a Chinese restaurant, and I had some gyoza and just like
Okay.
chilled in the atmosphere. And by the time it was like almost 11, I was like, okay, let me get back and go to sleep. So, you just kind of get lost in the city. You can just like go from place to place in like a
Right.
10-mile radius, and you'd find not even 10 mile, like a 1 mile, not even 400 meters. You'll find like 7,000 different things to do. So
Oh, wow.
the
So,
the
yeah.
fun thing about Tokyo is it's probably one of the safest cities in the world. So it doesn't matter what time of the night you're walking around, you're really nothing to worry about. So you can just enjoy being in the city. So that's what I've missed the most about not being here in such a long time.
No, that's amazing. So I'm living vicariously through you, right? It's like the only time I get to have anything that you just said was when I play Persona games, Persona 5, and roaming
Great
around.
games. Yeah.
That's as close as I get to that experience. Or I guess if I played like man, what's the other game? Like a Dragon. What is that one? I forget the Yakuza
Oh,
games. As close as I get to that experience. One day though, I'm gonna come visit you. I'm gonna get out there. But
open invitation to all you
awesome.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Because the closest we get to that is like going to a Dave and Buster's or a main event or something like that. Because arcades are dead effectively
Yeah.
here in the States.
Yeah.
So it's cool to still see that they exist over there. And it's still like you said, people are still going there like in the evening.
It's crazy. It's super big still here, and like in America, it kind of died after like online game became such a like popular thing over
Yeah.
here, right? Xbox and PlayStation, and the evolution of like doing like Halo LAN tournaments with your buddies or GoldenEye to then how it snowballed into what it is right now, like esports and just everybody online. There, it's still kind of like a very social thing, kind of like a normal thing. They even got these like arcade games where it's either like a fighting game or a Pokemon game or like these other ones. I had never seen them before. And then they have these cards that they
Oh yeah, I heard about
place.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, where do you get these cards? Like, what is this about? Like, they place them in there, and I guess it's like you have your Mewtwo or your Pikachu, and it's on the card, and then you like level it up, I guess, and then you go and you like either play the game to evolve it, or you battle your buddies with it. So it's like
Yeah.
a card game and an arcade game. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. Like the way the person framed it when I was listening to the podcast was it's the best of both worlds. Like you have a physical something that you can take with you from the arcade, and then you go to the arcade to make it better. So like it's like the that economy or whatever the word is. Like it escapes me right now, but duality. Yeah, the duality
Yeah,
of
duality.
that physical and then something virtual as well, and how the two marry very well. Like that does not exist here in the States. You take
No.
your whatever plastic card and you wave it in front of a little scanner, and then you play a game for like 5 seconds. And that's it, right? It's very much a casino experience here in the States. It's like
Yeah.
Dave and Buster's or Chuck E. Cheese or Main Event or like
Yeah.
Kid Vegas, as opposed
Yeah.
to social places like over there overseas. So That's awesome, man.
And I think that's about pretty much it though. Like we a lot of the TV and stuff we still haven't gotten like back into our rhythm. We watched a couple episodes of Tokyo Ice. I really like it. The show is really cool. It's set like 90s Tokyo, and it's like a kid from the US. He goes to Tokyo and he's trying to become a news reporter, and Tokyo's like the biggest newspaper. And obviously they never hired any foreigners before him, and he's like the first foreigner they ever hired. So
Right.
but then he gets wrapped up in the Yakuza and like with the police down there. So it's a pretty cool like crime drama.
Check it out.
Has a lot of good actors.
I always see the
Yeah.
thumbnail, but I've never clicked on it.
You should. I was a little hesitant, but it had my guy Ken Watanabe, and he's been like in a bunch of like good movies. So anything he does, I really like. And this actor, I've never seen him before in anything else. The American actor, he kills it. He's really good. So it's really enjoyable. Then just anime I watch a lot just because it's an easy thing to watch at night. So a lot of the newer ones exceeded my expectations. They're not like anything new to the genres, but they're just like really enjoyable to watch. So Kaiju Number 8, I did not expect to like it that much. It looks a little bit like Attack on Titan or Chainsaw Man, so I thought it was going to be kind of like a ripoff, but it's got a lot more humor to it than I expected. And the action is usually like with animes, especially like shonen type, the action ones, they'll start out with some action, or usually there's a ramp up. This one has been like after the first episode, it's just been like punch you in the face and go the whole time.
Okay.
So it's been like really really enjoyable to watch. Like, I don't know where they're gonna go with the power levels, because the power levels are already like off the roof in the beginning of the first 8 episodes. So I was like, I don't know where they're gonna go from here, but I'm here for the ride. It's amazing.
Okay. Yeah, I need to check it out. I haven't watched the anime in a while now, actually.
Yeah. If you ever like whatever like style of anime you like, just let me know and I'll recommend something. I'm a huge anime nerd. Yeah. That's pretty much the wrap of my week. How about you? What you got to get into this week?
Not much, I guess. So no major life events, right? Today's Father's Day, so for me it's early, so I haven't done anything yet. But just plan on hanging out with the family. I was on a diet. I need to get back on it. So I started a diet probably 45 days ago because we got a vacation coming up to a resort. So I was like, I'm getting up there. I think I hit like 215, heaviest I've ever been in my life. I just didn't feel comfortable. Like I didn't feel comfortable in my own body, right? Clothes weren't fitting quite right. So I was like, I'm gonna go on a diet. I immediately I cut out beer and sweets and whatnot for 30 days. I dropped 11 pounds, just boop, gone. And since I've eased up a little bit, I was like, I don't want to lose another 11 pounds so quickly, and I'm been gaining weight. So I'm back up to 206.
But you're tall.
So
like, what are you like 6'1", 6'2"?
6'1", yeah. So everybody says that the weight doesn't look bad on me, but it just I've never been this heavy before, so it just doesn't feel right. Like when I try to run on the treadmill, I feel weird. It's more, I would like to be solid 200. And even that's heavier than normal for me, but I think that would be good. But not like a solid 200, not what I'm currently. This is not solid. So I need to burn it back off. So I got to get back on my grind. The goal is by the time we leave late July, I'll be 200 pounds ish. So somewhere around there. So
you got it.
I think I could do it. Yeah, I think I could do it, but I gotta cut back. I've been eating. Like today, I'm about to get in college day. I'm putting some stuff on the grill.
Yes.
So today is going to be lost. But Monday, I'm back on the grind. I swear.
Nice.
Aside from that, just building content for the podcast. So just trying to perfect my prompts to help with my AI assistants when it comes to helping me turn transcripts and articles and thumbnails, things of that nature. But I did watch Apple's WWDC 24 event, and oh man, like so many changes for all of their Apple products, like way more than normal when it comes to like all the iOS 18 stuff that's going to be embedded. And then at the very end, they're like, oh, and by the way, because everybody thought it was going to be an AI show, and 3/4 of it was all, here's our current products and this is what they do. And then, oh, by the way, this is how we're going to enrich everything with Apple Intelligence, the rebranding of their AI schema, so to speak. Amazing stuff. Like Apple usually waits a couple cycles before they do anything. Like copy and paste took forever to get on the iPhone, right? For whatever reason. But like they've gone full bore into AI, and I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. But then the cybersecurity in me was like, there's a lot of concerns with privacy and things of that nature, because all these products will be able to talk to each other, mostly on device. But anytime it needs something, they'll go to the cloud. And then they start talking about private cloud compute, where basically it's only doing your computations and what have you, only the things you need. from the internet, and then it brings it back to you. So like going through the rabbit hole of that, it inspired me to write something up. So I wrote a quick little article about what they plan to do, because we haven't seen it yet, right? It's the beta just rolled out for developers, so it hasn't really been in anybody's hands yet. And then how that will affect their phones and VR devices, tablets, PCs, like the full gamut. They're going full bore. But the most interesting out of all those I saw was the calculator app. Blew my mind. Like just your ability to scribble out your equations, and then it gives you answers. Then you can erase and you can change it, and it'll change it's amazing. Like, this is the future I've been waiting for. I just hope that they can properly secure it. And then how it's going to interface with third parties like ChatGPT, which I do use, right? I'm a pro user, in quotation marks. I pay for the pro package. And how those will also be private as well. So it's cool. If anybody's going to lead when it comes to security, in my opinion, again, Apple fanboys, take it with a grain of salt, but when it comes to their Apple Wallet, so Apple Pay and all other stuff, on-device encryption, Apple does a really good job. Like, there's been some 0 day, there's been some issues, but they're very tentful with their security solutions. So I expect the same to come out of their AI solutions. And I now have a reason to upgrade my phone, because I've been rocking an iPhone 12 Pro forever.
Nice.
So I think, what is it, 15, 16 drops?
16, yeah, 16 drops, because I upgraded mine. 16. Yeah, I had an 11. And then I was like, I need a new phone. I got the 15.
I went from I'm so slow when it comes, because as long as the phone is working, I'm happy. So I went from a 3 to an 8, and 8 to the current 12 Pro I have, and I'm gonna go from a 12 to a 16. So I usually wait 4 to 5 years for upgrade.
I make it worth my while.
Yeah.
I had another content creator that I follow, and the one thing that he mentioned about the Apple Intelligence thing, one of the things that's going to be so big is that we're on our Apple iPhones all day anyway, right? So how this equates to like what we do day to day and the ease that's going to open up to a lot of people, as long as people learn how to use it, it's going to be huge. It really is.
Yeah, it's going to be baked into everything. So, like, it's finally going to do what I want Siri to do, right? The things I've been going to GPT to do in her stead, like, she'll be able to do those things now. I'm so happy. I might come off a ChatGPT Pro, like, if they do it right. But we will see. I'm not going to put the cart before the horse, right? Because like, OpenAI has been doing this for a while now. They're one of the major players, so we'll see. We'll see how Apple works with it. But it kind of makes me like, I'm an Apple device user on everything except for work. I use a PC, but it's making me think about maybe moving back over to iMac. So I had one. I didn't use it for work though. It was for the kids. And then I had it for a decade, and then finally one of the kids knocked it over. It's an all-in-one system, so the screen broke, so it kind of jacks everything up. Yeah. And then I didn't go to the next iMac. I was like, nah, we'll be a PC house from here on out. But like, we have everything else: the pads, the phones, the Apple TV. Yeah, I might as well just. Yeah, my daughter has a MacBook Pro, and I've received a MacBook Air from work, but I haven't really played with it yet.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. The pros are really good, especially like if you get the higher end ones. They're expensive, right? They're expensive, but like if you're like a developer or you do video editing, like, and all these kind of things, like all the buddies that I know that use it for those things, they praise it. Like they say it's still industry leading, right? So I just going from the switch from like Windows, you've used this since like high school, college, going to that OS and like that interface, it would take some time, I would think, but Apple's really good at, you putting a phone or something into your hand and it being intuitive. That's like their whole model and structure, their whole UI thing. So I would imagine it can't be that bad, the Mac or the MacBook Pro, to like get used to it at least.
Right. My daughter seemed to jump on it pretty, like that's her school laptop. So we got it. It's a graduation present. So we got her a
nice
M2 MacBook Pro, because the Basic Exchange had a mega sale. They often do on Apple products, so we saw it pop up and was like, I know that this laptop will last her for all of college. It won't be like buying her the normal brands that usually fall apart later. So yeah, she has it. She's been using it. So now I'm kind of interested. So I did crack the seal on the one that the work sent me, and I'm just like, this is a mean learning curve. But like you said, like, there's a lot of promise there. So if I start to like it, then I might get an iMac for the house.
Nice.
So we'll see what the future holds on that one. But aside from that, I downloaded Street Fighter 6.
Nice.
I love fighting games. I'm terrible at all of them. I just never get good. There was a sale on Street Fighter 6, and I was like, it was between Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, and Mortal Kombat 1. And I was like, I just have a craving to play a fighting game, right? And I was like, gotta go Street Fighter. Like, it's the most versatile, in my opinion. Like, Mortal Kombat is always going to be near and dear to my heart, but I tried playing 11 recently, and I just cannot get it. I cannot figure it out. And then Tekken used to be my thing, but I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have a bunch of Tekken friends. People play Tekken. I haven't played Tekken since Tekken 2. I had a mean Shaolin, right, was my character. But yeah, I picked up Street Fighter 6, the demo, and I was like, I can kind of mess with this. Like, I'm still not great at it, but I was like, I could figure out a couple combos and what have you. So I downloaded the full game. It was like
Nice.
30% off, 40% off, something like that.
That's pretty good.
I've been playing it with my son, where we've been going like, I think our record is like 18-19 in his favor. I just going back and forth. So it's fun.
It's crazy. It's crazy. You're talking about Tekken 6. So I went to one of those arcades, and then in the back, because it's funny, I couldn't find fighting games that easily in the arcades, because they have more of the crane games. They had a bunch of other like racing games and stuff like that. But in the back, they had Street Fighter 6 demo on a big TV so people could play it. Of all things, and I played it. And I picked Ken. I don't know why. And Ken is like a lot of kicks now. I was like trying to get his punch stuff down.
That. Yeah.
And I was like, what happened here?
They made him much different. Him and Ryu used to be pretty similar, but
yeah. I was like, what is going on? I couldn't get. It took me like a couple rounds to get like a hang for him, like a feel for him. The game is beautiful, by the way. That game is sick. It looks amazing.
Yeah, visually it's crazy. It's running off of the new Resident Evil engine, the RE engine or whatever, that they used with the Resident Evil remakes. Yeah. Like, because you can see like veins and stuff popping in their arms. I was like, man, it's crazy.
The animation, the way they move, the fluidity, it's really good.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying it. Like even if your button mash, it still looks pretty, right? But I'm trying to actually learn the mechanics, because I don't know. Like I just turned 41, and I've always wanted to be good at a fighting game. It's kind of late in the game, right? But I'll at least be good amongst my age group. I hope.
We start a new esports league, just 40 and up.
Right. Right. And I want to go back to playing Halo. Like I played Halo recently. They've been doing some updates and what have you, but I wanted to start playing it again. I just don't have time. And then I've been kind of jonesing for a shooter, so it's either going to be Halo or Doom, one of those two on the PC. I'm going to try to start playing it with a controller. It's very blasphemous. I want to use an Xbox controller on my PC, because I can't WASD for my life. So Xbox controller.
I can't either. I can't. It's our generation. I can't keyboard and mouse. I've tried it. My movement is just the worst.
Yeah, I know it's more accurate, but I just can't do it. It's more accurate, but I just can't do it.
Yeah, I get killed too easily. Like I can't shoot and I can't move, so it's like it's rough.
Yeah. But aside from that, just honing on content, doing stuff at work, and trying to build in some more efficiency. This week I didn't do as much, nowhere near as much as I did last week, and I felt much better. Like I was pretty stressed out. I was doing max workload plus max podcast load. This week I cut back a little bit. I only wrote that one straight article, and it felt good. That's a good balance. Yeah, I think last time I made like 2 GPTs. I wrote like 3 articles. It was crazy. I was doing a whole lot of it, but a lot of traction. Right, people actually did read the stuff. So I'm just like, there's some balance there. I gotta figure it out. So
yeah, do one for them and one for you. Right, you can't do it all every week like that. Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, something like that. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you joining me for this Father's Day. Go finish out your day, all the festivities and what have you with the family. Eat some good food and drink some good beer for me, because I'm about to go back on this diet.
Definitely, man.
For all those listeners out there, please like, share, subscribe. Please sub if you have not already, or encourage somebody else to sub so we hit 500,000 by the end of the year, so we can start to monetize this thing, and I can buy some gear to make the podcast better, right? tune into all the things and all of either the other side of the firewall, the other side of the FW, or ask a CISSP. Hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I forgot to say this all week. Hit me up on LinkedIn, Clubhouse, Twitter, Threads, IG, TikTok, all the places. Check out all of our articles. You can find Daniel on LinkedIn by his name, and he's tagged in all articles as well. Tune into all the places. Leave us some feedback. Stay safe. Stay secure.